Om Shanti. Can you all hear me well? The volume is okay? Thank you. So very warm welcome to all of you to this evening session. And Hindi translation is available. जिनको भी हिंदी में सुनना है, प्लीज वो ऑप्शन सेलेक्ट कीजिए. आपके डिवाइस में नीचे 3 डॉट्स होंगे, उसको प्रेस करने से आपको ट्रांसलेशन की चॉइस मिलेगी. Again, very warm welcome. Good evening to each and every one of you. I hope your drive back home was safe in this weather. Wishing each and every one of you a very happy, healthy, wealthy new year. I'm sure all of us would have wished our family and friends for this year to be in every which way, to be happy and healthy. And we would have received the wishes from everyone. Is that so? Right? So when we wish each other a happy and healthy one, what do we really wish for? Health and wealth, what is it connected to? Usually it is in connection to the health of the body, right? And prosperity. Prosperity in terms of growth in life, growth in the career we are in, right? Growth in the business, career, whatever we are doing, we wish each other there to be abundance. And definitely, the way to keep the body healthy is to nourish the body. Nourishing the body includes a well-balanced diet, healthy diet. We do quite a lot of research to know what is healthy. We do spend time knowing, understanding what is right kind of food. And we do spend time buying the right food. We take care of the body through the food we eat. And also, we do take care by having the body being a regular checkup, going to the doctors, the annual visits. And another way is also exercise, keeping the body moving, keeping the joints flexible. All these aspects we definitely give a lot of attention to, so as to keep the body healthy. Right? Do we all do that? Yeah. And on the other hand, coming to the wealth part, we do work hard, work diligently, so has to have the consistency in the income, consistency in the earning. And we do spend wisely, we do invest wisely, so that there is benefit through that money we are earning. right? So all these are definitely important. It is needed. We have to take care of the health and wealth physically. At the same time, we need to ask a question to our own self. How much do I take care of the subtle being? The being who is the showrunner, the being who's the backbone for this body. How much do I take care of it? And what is the nourishment for this being? Spirituality says happiness is the nourishment for the soul. So how do we go about this happiness? How do we nourish that? Right? So the soul experiences happiness when the soul is very much close to, in connection with one's own qualities, the innate qualities. The innate qualities being peace, love, joy, and bliss, to name a few. And I'm sure you may all be aware of these qualities, which are inherent in each and every one of us. When I remain close to these qualities, and when I come to action and interaction with others based on these qualities, there is happiness. And on the contrary, when I move away from these qualities, when I become judgmental, when I have the attitude of criticism, when I'm carrying guilt and sorrow, hurt. So these are the factors that move me away from one's own qualities, and definitely one cannot experience happiness then. So it is important for me to know my own qualities and then to work from that foundation to keep the self, the real self, happy and healthy. If the movement and exercise for the body is essential, what is exercise for the mind? The exercise would be very subtle again. The being is subtle. Exercise is also subtle. It is not seen through these physical eyes. And that exercise would be to take my attention inwards and to take it upwards. That is drawing my attention inwards, looking at one's own self, connecting to the self and connecting to the Supreme Father, who is the Father of all the souls. Whether we recognize him, identify him, irrespective, he is the Father of all the souls. So that is a subtle exercise we need so as to keep this being healthy. One is the nourishment, other is the exercise. And the other one we do with the physical body is go to the doctors for the regular visit, checkup. And what do we need to check up here in a subtle way? Checking is, again, constantly at the regular intervals, taking a dip in and seeing, checking, what are my thoughts? Where is my mind engaged in? How am I doing? What is the subtle feeling I'm experiencing? What is my attitude? So when I check myself at the regular intervals, I do see clearly where I need to maneuver the thoughts, where I need to make a shift in my thoughts. So that helps a lot of energy savings. That happens then. Otherwise, one kind of maybe like low energy thought, if it is there and if it is not being checked, it goes on and on for hours and hours. When such low energy thoughts has been harbored and it is sitting there, it doesn't help the mind or the being to be healthy. So it has to be a wholesome approach. In every aspect, we have to check and approach the subject to keep the being healthy. Right? Being very natural, being very close to the nature, we all like it. And even the physical nature for that matter, when we go out maybe in the mountains, maybe near the ocean, or even garden, waterfalls, anything that is natural, that has not been interfered by the human beings, anything natural that draws our attention, that is very much appealing to us, that in fact brings out the best in us. The more time we spend there, there could be more insights, more reflections. One could be more creative. There could be more clarity and helps to make decisions. Why? Because the nature teaches us a lot. The nature teaches us how to accommodate. It teaches us how to be giving without expecting a return gift. It teaches us how to be forgiving. On the whole, nature is always giving. What about me? So that's how when I am out there close to the nature, it brings up my own inner nature. It helps me to reflect and see and make the necessary changes. On the other hand, when I go to a city, big cities, I do see the tall buildings, right? I do admire them. I do appreciate the brilliance of human mind who has created, who has designed that building. We are awed by the design, definitely. But is there a difference? Is there a difference in admiring the nature and difference in admiring the skyscrapers? Is there a difference? If there is, what is the difference? The difference is one touches the heart, the other touches the head. There is nothing wrong in either. Just the difference it is. One touches the heart and the other touches the head. We have to see where and what touches my heart, what touches the core of this being, and move forward from that aspect. If these are the factors that contribute to the health of the being, how does the wealth side contribute to the same? Wealth in terms of wealth of knowledge, knowledge of the self. Who am I? Recognizing the true self as I am, the true being as I am, the tiny point of light that is unseen from these physical eyes, that is eternal, that is imperishable, that is such a big secret to know, to understand, and to live by that knowledge. It brings an immense lightness in one's own life. If that is the wealth I'm carrying, I also need to know the Supreme Father, who again, as was said earlier, he's the Father of all the souls. Knowing him as he is, recognizing him, having a connection with him, knowing his qualities. He who is very much like me, having this deep connection with him helps to draw the energy. Definitely all of us do have the innate qualities, but with time, we have lost it. So as to recharge ourselves, we need to connect to him. For that, we need to know him, where he is, what is his form, what does he do. Having this knowledge helps to build that connection, helps to deepen that connection. And definitely for this, I need to use the wealth of time. Time is invaluable. And with so many things we are engaged in, we do find time is short. There's so many things to do. Taking care of the family, being responsible, doing the work, everything. But in the midst of all this, I need to dedicate some time to know, understand myself. And of course, the time we spend in some other factors, maybe like worldly news, knowing all that, it's necessary, but trying to know only as much as it's required, not more. Because when it's a time of crisis, the worldly news may not be helpful for me. At that time, the knowledge I have accumulated, the strength and power I have accumulated by connecting to the Father, that helps me to be stable. That helps me to give a different perspective and to face the situation in life. So it becomes very important for me to dedicate some time during the day to spend with my own self, Just a few minutes, even that is fine to begin with. But that dedication and determination is very much essential. We do have determination power, isn't it? All of us do have the determination power. Sometimes it may be used for the wrong reasons, right? In the family, maybe like when someone is doing, or someone close to us is doing not what I want, how will the response be? We might have seen or heard the response could be not so pleasant. One may be very determined to ignore the other person because that one is not doing as I want. One may be determined to be just silent, right? So, but instead of using the determination for such means, I can use the power of determination to set aside some time to focus on myself, to see the person who I am, to observe the underlying feelings. We may think that whatever feelings I'm having, it will go away with time. Maybe I get busy with doing things. Maybe it will disappear. But the hurtful feelings, painful feelings, it doesn't go just like that. It stays in the subconscious. One may think I will go to bed, that will be fine. No, we go to bed in the same feeling. There is a high possibility of getting up in that same feeling. So it's very essential to get to the bottom of that feeling and to sort it out. And how do I know what kind of feelings I'm harboring? For that, I need to use the wealth of thoughts. Thoughts are the basis for everything. Before we speak something, say something, before we do something, the origin is the thoughts. That is the seed of every action we do, whatever we say. So the more I look inwards and check the thoughts and change whenever it's required, that would be the way to use the wealth of thoughts, giving it a right direction. If it is going towards the negative end, changing it so that those thoughts become a seed that would bear a fruitful fruit, very tasty and very nice fruit that is beneficial for the self. Again, the approach has to be wholesome. The being who is the backbone of this body has to be taken care. Just like if someone is having diabetes, other than taking the pill, one has to take care of the diet as well. Definitely not eating any desserts, sugar-loaded sweets, but also not to consume any fruit, even if it has natural sugars, any grains that has natural sugar in it, and to exercise regularly. To keep the stress level low, all these are required, so as to keep the sugar level at the minimum level. The same thing here. So has the soul to experience its own natural qualities, so has to maintain the health and the well-being of the soul. My approach has to be wholesome. Observing the thoughts, valuing the time, dedicating the time, connecting to the Supreme Self, doing the checkups regularly, connecting to one's own innate qualities, all becomes essential tools to bring out the optimum. So we need to give a thought about this. How is my day going? Do I need to make something about it? What are my thoughts and feelings? Do I need to do something about it? When I take care in this way, other than the health and wealth, happiness naturally follows. We don't have to make effort to be happy. In the spiritual readings, I remember reading a beautiful line. I'll say it in Hindi and then to English translation. In Hindi it says, जब मन खुश तो जीवन खुश और जहान खुश. Meaning, when the mind is happy, life is happy, and the world is happy. So how important is to keep the mind happy? Am I ready to take this responsibility? We do tell our kids, right? You have these privileges. Take care of it. Be responsible. So how responsible am I in taking care of the being that is very, very vital of my existence? Let me stop here. And let's go into the meditation for a few minutes. And if you have any questions, let's take it up after that. Is that okay? Thank you. Sit comfortably. Set aside everything and know that the inherent quality of each and every soul is that of love, joy, peace, happiness. The more I use these qualities, the more it grows. And the more it grows, more powerful I, the soul, be. With the mind's eye, I look at my own true self. The being who is in the form of a tiny point of light. This tiny point of light is untouched. No matter how powerful the elements may be, no matter how hurtful others' words could be, but this being of light is unharmed. Nothing and no one can hurt this being. I look upwards. To the sky, beyond the sky. Which is golden red in color. It is where the Supreme Father resides. Even his form is very much like me. A tiny point of light. Is abundant. All the treasures and the treasure store is open. All the time. Is unlimited. unconditional. Just I need to make the effort. To access those treasures. I can access the treasures. However much I want, whenever I want. Only requirement is to have the key. Key to access those treasures. Key of knowledge. That is all I need. Couple more seconds here. Slowly. I bring the consciousness back to this physical world. And to the physical body. Om Shanti. If you have any questions, please share your question. All are good. So just to let you know, this Tuesday's meditation session will be there every Tuesday with different topic, the same time, 7:30 to 8:15. Thank you again for joining, and wish you all a very happy, healthy New Year.